Well, let's talk now to Claire Hastie, who has long COVID herself and set up a support group on Facebook which has more than 20,000 members. Claire, welcome to the programme. I wonder if you can start by just describing what you were like in terms of fitness and health before COVID and now after.
I was very active before, both socially and with my work, and also physically. I used to cycle 13 miles for my commute, and now I need a wheelchair because I can't walk more than a few metres.
Just give me an idea of how exhausted you feel more or less permanently.
For me, it's not so much the fatigue anymore, although that is still a factor. I can't get through a day without having to have a sleep in the middle of it. And when my symptoms are at their worst, when they flare up, I struggle to get out of bed. But the reason I can't walk is because my muscles are seized up. So I can only walk a few meters, but my muscles feel like I've cycled up a big hill, but they feel like that permanently. And if I do too much, then my symptoms flare up and my heart goes crazy. I get dizzy, my fatigue comes back and my head is pounding.
You told our producer when you got COVID, it was like an elephant sitting on you. When did it actually dawn on you, though, that the symptoms, the after effects were simply not going away?
I just was in bed for what felt like a few weeks and was a few weeks. And then when I'd been ill for about 6 weeks or so, I was sent a newspaper article from a friend and I realised that I wasn't the only one going through this, because the narrative is all about you'll take 2 weeks to recover or you'll be severely ill at risk of death. And there was no talk at all of people in the middle ground, the purgatory of what we're now calling long COVID.
And you set up a group, I mentioned it there in the introduction, 20,000. That gives you a clue of just the scale of what perhaps we're dealing with here. And presumably you must have heard many, many scary horror stories.
Yeah, we're actually now 26,000 members and growing all the time. And the stories in there are really horrific. I feel actually as if I've got off lightly compared to some people. Some people have lost loved ones while also living through these life-changing symptoms. Many people are unable to work for months, and so they've lost their jobs or had a severe drop in income. So they're experiencing financial hardship. And a lot of them have also been ignored and dismissed by family members, employers, and indeed the medical profession, although that is starting to change now.
I know I'm rolling a few thoughts into one question, but what sort of help are you getting? I know there's research, but are you getting any help? What is it like with being able to work, have a family, all of those sorts of things?
I'm a single parent of 3 kids, and they had to grow up very quickly to look after me when I couldn't get out of bed, so they had to do all the cooking and the washing the laundry and cutting the grass and all that stuff. Working, I'm fortunate I can work from home and I can lie down and sleep when I need to, but those people in our group, particularly those who have a physical job or those people who are suffering with real cognitive impairment, are unable to work and have been in that position for months, and they don't know when and if they'll be able to return to work. So there are serious problems. The help we're getting is patchy, inconsistent. It's very welcome that NHS England has made those announcements. As you mentioned earlier, they need to be rolled out across the devolved nations, but we need help now. It might be early days in putting help in place for us, but it's not early days for those of us who've been living with these debilitating symptoms for 7 months or more.
Well, Claire, it sounds incredibly distressing. Thank you very much for taking time to speak to us, and good luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you.